Welcome to Health and Self. My name is Ashley Thayer, and today I'm feeling a little zesty. So today we are actually going to make one of my favorites, one of my family's favorites, because it's a quick, fast weeknight meal, and it's called Zesty Chicken. Yes, with a side of brown rice. Let me show you what you will need for today's recipe. So you're actually going to need brown rice, but today I've chosen a quick cook brown rice, which means usually traditional rice takes about 30 minutes to cook, but the way we do this in weeknight is in your grocery store, you'll find it's a quicker cook because they actually halfway cook it and then they put it in the box for packaging. So quick cook brown rice, 1 whole green pepper, about 2 medium stalks of celery. I've already pre-chopped these up just to save some time. 1 Vidalia onion, a whole onion today. Yes, because this is a zesty recipe. I have about 1 pound of chicken breasts. I like to get the thin cut chicken breast one. They cook a little faster, but that's about 1 pound worth of chicken breast. Then you will need a can of petite diced tomatoes. You can do large diced, but note to you that grab the low sodium because we want to always control our sodium content and our salt content. So these are low sodium petite diced canned tomatoes. 2 cloves of minced garlic and about a tablespoon and a half of chili powder. And of course you'll need olive oil, salt, pepper, those kinds of things. But I think we should go ahead and get started. First thing is with the olive oil, we're actually going to make sure I turn on the correct burner. There we go. We're actually going to toast our brown rice first. I'm going to put about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. So, you know, normally traditionally I tell you to measure out your olive oil in your cap, which gives you roughly about 1 tablespoon worth of olive oil. So you can just eyeball it, but just a tiny, tiny bit of olive oil as our pot starts to heat up. Then we will add our quick cook brown rice right in there. And we're going to let it get nice and toasty. There we go. Let me grab a little spatula so that way we can kind of toast it around. Move it around, let it get coated with the olive oil. Super easy. It's kind of, you know, I mean, just a nice, easy way to, there you go. You can kind of see the olive oil starting to coat. Adds a little bit of flavor too to brown rice. Now, when you're cooking brown rice, the difference with quick cook versus traditional brown rice is that traditional brown rice, it's usually 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of liquid. Quick cook, because it's already kind of like halfway through the cooking process, it's only 1 cup to 1 cup. So what do I need? 1 cup of water. So I have 1 cup already measured out. We're going to bring this to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, the same way you cook regular rice is that then you lower the heat and place a lid on it and let it kind of like set it and forget it. Give it a quick stir. There we go. And we're going to let that come up to a boil. So while that is doing that, we're going to go ahead and get started on our zesty chicken. Look, even my dress is zesty. See, I'm feeling very, very happy, very fun. Okay, 1 whole green pepper. And remember, I already chopped my celery, about 2 medium stalks. You could do 3 if you like celery. Onion, celery, and green pepper is known in Cajun cuisine as the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity of flavor, the Holy Trinity of yummy goodness. And it is truly that. It's a great way to add flavor to your dishes without adding extra calories. Also, it adds nutrients. Bell peppers are rich in vitamin C. Bell peppers are rich in vitamin A. So you're getting all of those same nutrients, all those fabulous nutrients from the bell pepper, from the onion, from the celery, also very rich in fiber. Our zesty chicken dish, when it's all said and done, is going to give you about 2 servings of vegetables. So that's really, really, really fabulous. The average adult honestly needs about 4 to 5 servings of vegetables a day. So if you think this is giving you 2, woohoo, you're about halfway there. So I'm just giving this a rough chop. It doesn't have to be pretty, but the whole idea is you just want nice bite-sized pizzas that will add flavor, that will cook down, but be really delicious. Green pepper too is one of those vegetables that I found that I can actually add to dishes for my daughters, as long as kind of like they're cut small enough, and they'll eat it and not question it. It's when I try to do just like grilled pieces of green pepper, like on my taco night, I love to do grilled vegetables. They're like, no way. Okay, so my whole green pepper is chopped. Now let's chop up our onion. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on my skillet so that way it can start to heat up. Okay, so in Zesty Chicken, Holy Trinity, onion, celery, and pepper. But then also you get the fantastic nutrients from the tomatoes, like the lycopene and vitamin C from tomatoes as well. Tomatoes also are very rich in vitamin K. That's really good for your blood, which is nice. Helps your blood cells to repair themselves, and it also helps your body to absorb the protein that is accompanied in this dish, so with that chicken breast. Now, if you don't like chicken, I have a lot of friends who are plant-based. Like one of my producers, Brandon, he's plant-based. And you could easily sub in tofu. It could be zesty tofu. You could also sub in kind of like a thicker, like whitefish. If you're like a pescatarian, you could sub in a fish as well. Now, I haven't tried it with pork, but I think you could. I mean, the flavors marry so well to so many different proteins that it can be zesty, whatever you want it to be. Okay, half done. My rice is coming up to a boil, so let me chop this up, and then I'm gonna drop my heat on my rice and place a lid on it. Traditional way to cook rice, even though it's considered quick cook or fast cooking brown rice, still have to cook it the traditional way. All right. All right, fantastic. So we're gonna lower our heat down to low, 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 low. Okay, run my knife through my onions just a little bit more. Break them up. So I put about a teaspoon of olive oil, remember, with the brown rice. For our zesty chicken, we're going to put about a tablespoon. Again, across 4 servings, 5 servings. For us, this recipe feeds the 6 of us, but because remember, I have 2 younger eaters. I have Zoe and Veronica, so a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, they don't eat as much as the rest of us adults do. Can you believe Jordan is 15 and Mia is 14 now? Gosh, the time is just flying by. I don't know what on earth is happening. Well, they say the days go by slow, but the years go by fast, I guess. I guess that's what they say. But I definitely feel it with those girls. All right, my pan is nice and hot. All right, about a tablespoon of olive oil. So you can always pull out your measuring spoons if you'd like, but why? Why dirty up another dish? Unless you have dishwashers, like Jordan and Mia. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add in the Holy Trinity. Get my celery in. Then we're gonna scoop up the peppers and the onions, add them right in. Again, 2 servings of vegetables. So this is really a vitamin-packed dish, but it's also a protein-packed dish, which is really, really important. You know, a lot of my personal training and nutrition clients ask me, they say, Ashley, what do I need to do to lose weight? And then I start to ask them, well, what's your protein look like? Like, how much protein are you eating a day? Here's a great rule of thumb. So when you are enjoying your meals, first of all, shoot to have protein in every single meal. Yes, even breakfast, lunch, dinner, even with your snacks. It doesn't always have to be an animal-based protein. So it could be Greek yogurt. It could be tofu. It could be, did you know green peas are high in protein? So, I mean, it really could be anything, seeds, nuts, all kinds of things like that add protein and value to your dish. The average adult, and I say average because everybody's body is different, but the average adult needs about 20 grams of protein per meal. Aha, yes. So if you think about a cup of Greek yogurt, for example, that's why, you know, like whenever I make dishes that require sour cream, I sub in Greek yogurt because it gives me the protein. But a cup of Greek yogurt usually has on average anywhere from 11 to 16 grams of protein. You add a little chia seed on top or maybe some walnuts, and now you're at your 20 grams of protein. Just that easy with a cup of yogurt. Okay, so let my vegetables continue to saute and become translucent. You can hear them, you can smell them. And we're going to cut up the chicken breasts. So we want to cut the chicken breasts to about 1-inch size pieces. Let me get a different knife. Haha. All right. So these are thin chicken breasts. So you can see they take basically one chicken breast and kind of just slice it in half. Let me get something to hold these down with. That is the beauty of them. So when you are cooking like grilled chicken, this is a nice way. They cook a little faster, but you're still getting all of the same benefits. All right. So about 1-inch size, cubes, squares. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to add this into our onion, pepper, and celery mixture. Alrighty. This dish is also great to make ahead. If you are a meal prepper and you like to make your dishes like on Sunday in one big batch and store them in extra containers, this is a great recipe because it keeps very well because of the tomatoes and the chicken and the vegetables. Okay, good. All right, just a couple more to go. Now you can buy the chicken breasts already cut like this in the grocery store. That's what makes it super, super easy. About a pound of chicken breast yields about 2 whole chicken breasts. So when you're thinking about in the store, if you don't want to buy the thin cut or they don't have the thin cut, you need about 2 whole chicken breasts to give you about a pound. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Again, about 1-inch cubes, so they cook down a little faster. Bite-sized pieces. I love this recipe too because it's low in fat. And even with the brown rice, which is a fiber-filled carb, it's a great carb for your body. Carbs help you to digest the vitamins that come with the vegetables and all of the fantastic things about protein. So pairing it with brown rice is a great, great dish. Now, I'm going to move my vegetables around and I'm actually going to add my chicken right in and let it start to saute with my vegetables. Now, if you wanted to switch this up, you could, and add maybe a little bit more protein, you could put this over top of quinoa. You could make quinoa instead of the brown rice. But Jaridan, I will tell you, is not a small grain kind of guy. He does not like quinoa and couscous. So I just stick it to plain old brown rice. Okay, we're gonna let that continue to saute. Put this in the sink. Alrighty. So, garlic. I have 2 cloves of garlic that I've already pre-chopped. You can buy minced garlic already in the jar. You can also use a garlic press instead of chopping it up. But the beauty is that by chopping it up, you can kind of save a little bit of money because the head of garlic is a lot cheaper to buy in bulk than the actual jar. Also, a lot of times the jar of garlic is usually in oil. So when we're trying to live a healthier lifestyle and cook a little healthier and save a little bit when it comes to the fat content and the calorie content, you don't want to find things that are already cooked in oil or sitting in oil. So I've added the garlic in. And again, we're just going to start to move the chicken around, blend it in with the onions and the pepper and the celery, that holy trinity of flavor. So good. And we're just going to fold this in, continue to fold it in. And let the chicken continue to cook. And again, by using thin cut chicken breast, they cook a lot faster than if you were to, runaway green pepper, than if you were to use a thicker chicken breast or a whole chicken breast. It smells heavenly in here. All right. So now, canned tomatoes. And I didn't bother to put these in anything really, like any kind of special fancy dish, because we're gonna dump the whole can right in. I mean, that's how easy and simple. Be sure, remember though, when you are picking up canned vegetables, canned beans, anything like that, you wanna always look for the low sodium. So that way, again, you can always control your sodium content, especially if you have like blood pressure issues. You wanna control your sodium content. All right, so I'm gonna take my canned tomatoes. I do have petite diced tomatoes, which means they're cut a little smaller. You could get traditional diced. Just get whatever your store has. Don't go to multiple stores looking for things. It's not worth your time. This is supposed to be a fast and easy dish for the busy family, the busy adult, or just because you don't feel like cooking. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this right on in. Get any leftover little bit. Ooh, 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 ooh. Throw this in the trash. It's already looking zesty. Zesty chicken. Okay, now the real zest is about to come once I continue to stir this in some. The spice. But, disclaimer, because I am making this for the Thayer family, and you know we've shared on previous episodes that most of the people in my family are spice wimps. The optional red pepper flake I am not going to add, but if you are a spice lover, add about 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flake, and then you really take your zesty chicken to being super zesty. Okay, so I'm gonna take my about 1.5 tablespoons worth of chili powder, and I'm going to add it right on in to our chicken and tomato and green pepper and celery and onion mixture. Just sprinkle it around. Oh yes, this is fun. It smells amazing already, but now, we need smell-o-vision. We should work on that. Hey, Ivan, let's get some cameras that allow the people at home to smell our dishes. I don't think they exist, but I think it would be fantastic if they did. It'd make you hungry for sure. Ivan Thomas is the director, founder, and creator of DETV, so I feel like I can say that to him. Hey, get us some cameras that make smell-o-vision. Oh, this smells amazing. Do you want to see what it looks like? Can you see? Oh, look at that. Look how the flavors are combining. Look at the tomatoes, look at the onions, the peppers. And again, yes, onions, celery, peppers are considered vegetables, which is really, really great and an easy way to get your vegetable servings in. Okay, so I know you're saying, Ashley, but you haven't added salt. We're gonna add a little bit. First, fresh cracked pepper. Your choice, about a quarter to a half a teaspoon is enough. Salt. Kosher salt, preferably. You could use Himalayan salt. Avoid just regular table salt. And again, about a quarter of a teaspoon. Very lightweight. We want to control the salt content. Ooh, it is sizzling and simmering. I'm going to cut my heat down just a little bit and let it continue to simmer uncovered. Because we use those thin chicken breasts, they are already cooked through, but they will continue to just simmer in and absorb all of the yummy flavors of our zesty chicken. Okay, now let's check on our set it and forget it rice, our quick cook rice. So, ooh, look at that. You can see it's actually almost done. Fantastic. There's still a little bit of water in there, so we're gonna let that continue to cook. And then I need some herbs. I need fresh herbs for our dish. So I'm gonna grab some parsley. Fresh herbs are an easy way to add flavor to your dish. And we'll add some fresh basil as well. Really make it zesty. So I bought that little bunch of basil. It comes like planted in the dirt from the grocery store. I need a few more leaves of basil. And the cool thing is that if you don't grow your own herbs, that's fine. You don't have to. But if you do and they still haven't come up yet, or you're kind of in between times, the great thing about having them planted in the dirt from the grocery store is that they actually last quite a bit longer than if you were to buy the loose leaves of basil. So that's really cool. And it allows you to kind of utilize herbs in all of your recipes over the week. Now, what I like to call ingredient management, when you have a family of 6, you shop on a budget. So when I look for special ingredients like fresh herbs or maybe a specific vegetable, I like to try to find a couple of recipes that include those herbs or those ingredients. So that way you kind of get more bang for your bite and your money goes a little bit farther. So the same goes with like the fresh parsley. So you buy the fresh parsley in a bunch, but you find a couple of recipes where fresh parsley would taste amazing, either in it or just sprinkled on top. So I layered my basil leaves on top of each other. Then I rolled them up and sliced them into what I like to call little baby ribbons. So the basil's ready to go. Throw my stems away. And then we're gonna do the same for the parsley. Just a rough chop on the parsley, just kind of rip the leaves off. Super easy. And again, a great way to add flavor. A bunch of parsley, usually in the grocery store, is about $2. When you do get the bunch home though, cut off the bottom of the stems and store it in a little cup of water and then pop it in your refrigerator. You will get a week, almost 2 weeks worth of usage from your parsley. So, great way, again, to just add flavor and add more nutrients. Your fresh herbs do have vitamins as well and count as your green leafy vegetables, which we know we're always telling you need to add green leafy vegetables to your diet, to your daily life and what you eat. In addition to the protein, remember that's 20 grams of protein the average adult needs. Okay, so my parsley and basil are all chopped. Let's stir my zesty chicken a little bit more. It smells so good. feeling very zesty. I'm gonna lower my heat and just let this continue to simmer. Then I'm gonna grab a fork and test my rice. Get rid of my chicken fork. Don't want to use that. Okay, so how do you know rice is cooked? It's not like pasta. You can't throw it up against the wall. Don't do that. But you wanna kind of fluff it with a fork, move it around, and that's how you know it's cooked. And again, quick cook rice allows you to make this on a weeknight. If you're making this for Sunday supper, you could certainly do long grain rice. Just remember the liquid to rice ratio is a little bit different than with the quick cook rice. Okay, so we're about ready to go. I'm going to turn my heat just down to low, and then I'm gonna take my fresh herbs and just sprinkle them right in. I'm gonna leave a little bit to top with. Just leave a couple. First, the basil. Ooh. Fresh herbs help you to feel really extra zesty as well. And then the fresh parsley. Look at the beautiful colors as I stir this. You see the green pepper, you see the celery, but then look at what the fresh herbs do. I'm gonna add some more parsley in. Leave a little bit for the top. There we go. Oh, yes. So, I mean, it's roughly about a tablespoon of basil and a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley I've added in. Okay, I think I'm ready to eat. Are you ready to eat? I am. All right, let's grab a plate and let's taste test. Okay, so first things first, I need some rice. Now, I do recommend that we'll need a fork to eat with. I do recommend that you serve the zesty chicken on top of your rice. You could serve it on the side, or remember, you can substitute quinoa. If you want an additional vegetable serving, you could also do cauliflower rice. That's a good substitute as well. So that's roughly about a cup of rice. Now I need a big spoon. Let's get a big spoon for our zesty chicken, because you want the sauce and the chicken and the vegetables. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna put it right on top. Oh yes. Yeah, a little bit more. So you've got the protein, you've got the vitamins from the peppers and the onions and the celery. Of course, very high in fiber as well. Oh, this smells amazing. Okay, it's time to taste test. Looks hot. Ooh, sprinkle a little extra fresh herbs on top. There we go. I love fresh herbs. Now at home, I do grow them. I have a container garden outside, which is fun. And I have an inside garden too, so I have them all year round. Hot. So good. Zesty, you taste the chili powder, you taste the peppers, you taste the onions. Has a little kind of Cajun flair to it. And remember, if you like spice, you can certainly add red pepper flake if you want to really amp up the spice. But it is zesty by itself with those fresh herbs. The perfect accompaniment too with the brown rice, so it's high in fiber. This is a great weeknight, healthy, fast cook meal. So good. Well, I hope you try this zesty chicken. Put on your zestiest outfit, zest some lemon, zest some lime, pop it in your water, and have a wonderful weeknight healthy meal with 2 servings of vegetables and 1 serving of protein. I'm Ashley Thayer. This is Zesty Chicken, and this is Health and Self. For more recipes, be sure to check out selfsoulspace.com, and I will see you next week with another yummy, healthy recipe. Bye-bye.